Alright, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. I've been doing a lot of work to the car. As you can tell by looking at this, kind of haven't been really recording none of it on this GoPro at least. Started putting in some carpet that I got for Christmas, and also putting down some sound deadening in there as well. So been doing that, but I can't keep going because I don't have one of the drain hole plugs for the rear. So I'm waiting on that to come in. So I'm just kind of working around what else I can do. Oh, by the way, I got the best gift of all for Christmas. So my family, or you know, my people were able to actually register the vehicle. So this car is actually street legal now, and I'm so excited about that. Really, realistically, all I gotta do is put the bumpers back on over there and drive it. So pretty soon that's what I'm gonna be doing. I just gotta pretty much get everything together so I can start driving and, you know, fixing everything. But the car is mainly almost done anyway. So yeah, I got everything to complete the car. It's just only me working by myself. That's the issue, because I got to do all this stuff. I'm not Superman, you know. It's going to take some time. So hopefully within a month this car should be back together and completed. Now from the last video, I told you guys that I was working on the quarter panel before I had a bad lifter, and this is pretty much how it came out. I know it's kind of hard to see right now. Let's see. So here's the quarter panel. Now you tell me where you see any of the seams at for this. Please let me know if you guys see any of the seams for this. Any of them. Any of them. Right? So I welded this whole thing up with a Flux Core welder, and I put the whole panel. It was a big patch panel that I used. Welded the whole thing up, and it looks almost factory. And I couldn't be more excited. The only issue is there's like one high spot right here. You can kind of see it. And there's another high spot right here somewhere. But honestly, I'm not even too mad about those. I did so much work to this thing. And I passed the antenna hole as well. There should have been an antenna hole, but I cut that out with the rest of the panel that I had cut, and you can't see it at all. Now it looks ashy right now because I was wet sanding it, so don't mind all that. But yeah, let's just keep going, keep progressing and doing more stuff to get this thing back on the road.
Early the next morning.
So as you can see, here's the whole quarter panel right here. Now you can't even notice where I stitched this panel up. I stitched it up somewhere in here, all the way up here, down to the side, somewhere around here. I made this body line right here part of a stitch, down here somewhere, and all the way through. Now you can't notice that at all. Whole body line is straight. You know, it's, in my opinion, like close to perfect, you know, compared to some of the other work I've seen done on this car. You know, like right here you can see the whole seam. So I'm gonna also fix that stuff as well, but not on this video. This video is going to be about me doing the whole other quarter panel. Now as you can see, I have a replacement panel right here. It's some repro that I got from somebody that they was not using. So luckily I got blessed with this whole quarter panel. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm gonna cut this whole thing out and replace it. Anyways, enough talking, and let's get started on this thing. Gotta love Washington. As soon as I pull the car up, it starts to drizzle. It's probably gonna rain even harder. I don't even know if I should keep going right now, but you know what, it's now or never. You know, I'm so close to finishing this car up that it's not even funny, so I'm gonna at least try to get this thing cut off. So yeah, let's just keep going unless it starts pouring. There you go. There you go. Boom. Just like that. Look at the back side of this thing. Look at this. Complete Swiss cheese. All that. There was also a big dent. So I decided to cut the whole thing out because I got the whole panel. So why not? Look at the size of this piece of Bondo right here. And I cut straight through it. Look at that. Look at that. But yep, that's all out. Alright, so it's just sitting up there right now, but this is basically what it's gonna look like. What I'm gonna do, because you see it comes with the curve in it and everything, a little piece that goes up. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna shave this down, and then I'm gonna shave the lip down on this part to where it's just the top piece, and I'm gonna just meet them together like that and just do it and just weld it up like that. That's exactly what I did for this one, so I'm actually not scared at all to do this. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but you cannot see any of the body lines at all. I did a pretty good job on this one, I say. So yeah, there's somewhere in here there's a body line, but yeah, you can't even tell. Can't tell at all. There's no deformities of the body lines at all, and I like that.
Who do you to go, boy?
All right, before we can start putting on this quarter panel, as you see I got it sitting right there, I'm gonna have to fix all of this first, which shouldn't be too big of a deal, you know. I just want to make sure this thing is like as rust free as I can possibly get it. So yeah, I'm gonna start on this, cut all that out, weld new stuff in, and then I'm gonna start on these outside parts and trying to get them cleaned up and whatnot, so I can get this panel on. But yeah, so let's just get started now. Alright guys, a little bit later, here is what it's looking like right now at the moment. I had to pull it in yesterday because it started raining a little bit too bad for me to actually keep going. So here's the rust repair right here, how it's looking. I think it actually looks pretty good. There's no big deal about it being super flush. I'm not too worried about that, and I will go back and coat the back side of it as well. But yeah, that's what it's looking like at the moment. Right now I'm shaving down these edges right here so I can put this on. Like I said, I'm gonna cut these little lips off right here. I'm gonna cut all these little lips off and just kind of put it on there like that. All right, so at the moment this is kind of what it's setting up like. I only have two tiny little easy to remove tacks on here, just to kind of see where I'm at and what do I have to keep doing. So when I usually do this, try to make sure all the body lines are matching up really closely, and try to notice what I need to cut or what I need to fix. So as you can see, I have an overlapping spot right here, so I'm gonna have to fix that. This I'm not too crazy about, just because I know, for one, I can fix this little gap, and two, also the bumper is gonna cover this, so I'm not too worried about that as well. Now the bigger issue that I'm seeing, right, which is not really an issue at all, but it's like overlapping pretty good right here. So all I'm gonna have to do is cut pretty much on this bottom body line, cut all this out, and yeah, just leave that how it is. So what I'm about to do, I'm gonna grind these little tacks off, and then I'm going to fix this stuff that I just said. So about to get on that right now. Alright, currently, after I've shaved down a couple of these sides or whatever, been test fitting, taking it off, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on, and I think I got this part, just a couple of tacks on it. I think I got this part pretty close to perfect, and whatever is not going to be perfect, fiberglass or Bondo will take care of, so I'm not too worried about all of that. As you see, all these body lines, they're really flush. All of them are pretty flush. I haven't really started on the top yet, but while I got a little bit of wiggle room, I'm gonna grind it down just a hair and like make sure that these two are flush, like these two parts are flush, and then that's whenever I'll be done tacking this thing on and just finish sewing it together. All right, some time has passed. I've been putting in some work putting this thing on. If you see, look at all that. Been welding this whole thing up. Now keep in mind, this is only me tacking it. I'm only doing tacks because you have to let the panel cool. So that's why I also got a damp rag that I've been using. Been dipping it in water and doing all that, letting it cool off, because you don't want to warp the panel. But if you look, you know, panel is like very straight, you know, and I'm ready to see this thing completely on and good. It's looking very good right now though. Oh my god. All right, just to put a little bit in the middle of the video, look at this. Got the bumper back on, hood back on. I am so excited, man. This thing has not looked this good since I bought it. I had a couple friends come over. Since I got this thing road legal, I wanted to put the license plates back on, but in order to put the license plate on, I had to put the bumper on. So they came over, helped me put on the front bumper. Back bumper shouldn't be too difficult. I can do that on my own. But we also put the hood back on. This is the best this car has looked since I bought it. Now, let's continue with the quarter panel. Quarter panel is looking pretty good. I grinded down my welds. It's not complete. I'm gonna throw a little bit of fiberglass Bondo on here just to smooth it out perfect. But look at this seam. Look at that seam. Nobody would ever notice that this seam is like a whole repro and that this whole panel has been replaced. You would never notice. I'm happy for that. But let's get back on to what this video is about. All right, it sucks a lot, you know, up here in the north, how it is right now, because it's getting dark super early, but this is how it's looking so far. You can tell that body line is looking really nice. Now I did have a little issue with this part right here, but that was because the metal, whenever I welded it, whenever I put my tack in, it was like not flush. But we're gonna take care of that with a little bit of body filler, just a little bit. And yeah, that's gonna fix that whole part. And I also welded up the antenna hole from the bottom. I just threw a couple tacks in there all the way around, and then like just welded it all the way around. As you can tell, this hole is completely covered, and it's kind of, the metal is a little warped right here because the way they put the antenna in, there was antennas on both sides, so don't worry, other side you don't notice nothing like that. So yeah, that's what we're about to be filling up. So about to get some of the fiberglass Bondo and put some on this whole seam, this whole big seam, also some right there, and a bit right in here. Oh, all right. I don't know if the camera looks any better, but this is what it's looking like right now. Don't mind this little line right here. I had this because of when I replaced the roof, so I'm trying to get that smoothed out too. But pretty much I got some right all down this seam, just to make sure I get that all nice and smooth. And don't worry, it may look like a lot, but like 90% of this stuff is coming off, so don't worry about all that. This is the only thing that might need a little bit more, but got it going all the way down. Got it down here too at the bottom. Also got it on this seam as well. Yeah, it's coming along. Gotta let this stuff dry, and I'll be back tomorrow to try to finish this stuff up. All right, all this Bondo is dry, so what I'm about to do now, start sanding and making it look perfect. All right, so it's like super dusty in here, but it's almost done. This whole thing feels really good for a body line. This whole thing right here, there are some spots where I think I need a little bit more, but for the most part, most of this is already really good. All right guys, don't mind the paint. The paint is gonna get some decent sanding and stuff done, but I only painted it just to see what imperfections there were. And yeah, so as you can see, everything looks pretty good. I got a little bit right here from the antenna hole. There was two little tiny dents right here that this car has been had, and then there was also another little tiny dent right here. So I decided to put a little bit more on those. Don't worry, the paint under here has been sanded down, and this is on metal. So yeah, now only thing I would like to say, this line is pretty close to being perfect. There's a few little things wrong with it, but honestly that's like easily repairable stuff. But yeah, this panel is like 99% done right now, and I think it looks really good. You almost can't even tell so far that it's even been worked on. And like I said, I'm still working on it. So yeah, it just kind of depends on how much effort you want to put into this thing, or how perfect you want this thing to look. All right, guys, so a lot of work has been going on, more than just this quarter panel. I've been doing, as you can see, I painted the roof. Oh, my camera looks a little dirty, 1 second. All right, there we go. You can see I painted the roof. It's nothing crazy, rattle can, but it's the Rust-Oleum turbo cans. So it looks pretty good. It's a decent amount of orange peel, but I'm honestly not worried about that. I'm going to fix all this. And it's not as shiny right now because there's also a little bit of dust on it. But you see, it looks really good. Anyway, getting back to this quarter panel. The quarter panel is looking really, really nice. You see the body lines are straight. So what I did, I welded the whole thing on, as you've seen. Shaved down my little weld spots. And then came back through with a tiny little layer of Bondo, or you know, whatever you want to use, and just kind of feathered out the seam a little bit. There's some spots where it's not the best, I will be honest, and you see I've been wet sanding, so it's like a little bit of little marks here and there, but I'm going to fix that some more, so don't worry about that. But the whole thing looks very, very good. It looks very uniform. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything, in my opinion, looks really good. If you buy an old Impala, Belair, or Biscayne, they tend to have their corners pretty dented. As you can see, no dents at all on these corners. I do have to feather some more of this. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, it's actually coming out really nice. But I think I'm gonna cut the video off here because pretty much all the work is done. I just need to do a little bit more wet sanding and a little bit more painting, and this thing will be perfect. So if you like the video, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. I will come through with more videos soon, and yeah, trying to get this thing on the road. All right, guys, I just want y'all to see how much progress I really made with this car. You see the front bumper is finally back on. I got the shifter and everything hooked up the top end. I got carpet in here. I put the seat back in, and quarter panels are pretty much done. I got some tail lights kind of hooked up, and I got the bumper put on. So happy. I am so happy. And this thing is actually street legal now. I got the registration done, so it will be on the road very, very soon, within a couple days, and I cannot be more excited.